Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Open meeting for the fourth meeting of September 2021 session. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Faber? Ms. McNally? Aye. Ms. Pottinger? Aye. Mr. Herberderis?
Aye.
Ms. Owens?
Aye.
Mr. Bershinius? Mr. Small?
Aye.
Ms. Burdell?
Aye.
Mr. Osopinski?
Aye.
Mr. Weedsek?
Aye.
Mr. Savage?
Aye.
Mr. Cassiv?
Aye.
Mr. Torres?
Aye.
Ms. Bush? Mr. Stockley?
Aye.
Mr. Emmett? Ms. Corretto?
Aye.
Mr. Walsh?
Aye.
Mr. Traeger?
Aye.
Ms. Zanecki?
Aye.
Mr. Dose?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks?
Me. Aye.
Mr. Lee? Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Mr. Roach?
Aye.
Mr. Blue?
Aye.
Mr. Walter?
Aye.
And Mr. Faber?
He stepped out.
I'll do that.
May I have a motion to approve roll call for per diem and mileage? Mr. Weedsek, second by Ms. Corretto. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. May I have a motion to approve previous meeting minutes? Mr. Freeman, second by Mr. Casa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. Citizen comment? None. We have a resolution for the medical health care and mental health services for inmates in jail and detention.
Whereas the Sheriff of LaSalle County is required by Illinois statute to provide professional correctional medical health care services and mental health services to inmates and detainees at the LaSalle County Jail and Detention Center. And whereas the current contract providing such services expired on November 30, 2021. And whereas the LaSalle County Public Safety Committee recommends entering into a contract with CCS Correct Care Solutions, 1283 First Rioville Road, Suite 500, Nashville, Tennessee, to extend the current contract attached hereto and incorporated herein as Exhibit A, Inmate Health Care Services, and Exhibit B, Juvenile Detention Center, for the provision of professional correctional medical health care services and mental health services medical services for the LaSalle County Jail and Detention Center for a period of 3 years starting December 1, 2021 until November 30, 2024, with the county reserving the option of a 1-year renewal. Now therefore be it resolved by the County of LaSalle, acting by and through the LaSalle County Board as follows. Section 1, that the chairman of the LaSalle County Board be and is hereby authorized to execute an agreement with CCS Credit Care Solutions to extend the current contract in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A and Exhibit B for a period of December 1, 2021 until November 30, 2024 at a base cost of $1,048,509. So there's $961,571 for jail and $86,938 for detention. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effective December 1, 2021 upon passage and approval. Section 3, any resolution or part thereof which is in conflict with any term or provision of this resolution is hereby repealed to the extent of any such conflict.
We have a motion to approve said resolution. Mr. Torres, second by Mr. Weezer. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mr. Faber? Ms. McNally?
Aye.
Ms. Pottinger?
Aye.
Mr. Urbanderas?
Aye.
Ms. Owens?
Aye.
Mr. Bushinas? Mr. Small?
Aye.
Ms. Brunel?
Aye.
Mr. Ossipinski?
Aye.
Mr. Weezer?
Aye.
Mr. Savage?
Aye.
Mr. Cassidy?
Aye.
Mr. Torres?
Aye.
Ms. Bush? Mr. Stockley?
Aye.
Mr. Arnold? Ms. Corretto?
Aye.
Mr. Walsh?
Aye.
Mr. Traeger?
Aye.
Ms. Zanecki?
Aye.
Mr. Dose?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Mr. Roach?
Aye.
Mr. Blue?
Aye.
Mr. Walter?
Aye. Motion carried. Next, we have a resolution approving the contract for advertising in LaSalle County Tourism.
Approving contract for advertising LaSalle County Tourism. Whereas the LaSalle County Tourism Committee approved a one-year contract with Shaw Media for the promotion and advertising tourism in LaSalle County. And whereas the terms and conditions of the contract between the County of LaSalle and Shaw Media is attached hereto and incorporated herein as Exhibit A. Now therefore be it resolved by the LaSalle County, acting by and through the LaSalle County Board, that the LaSalle County Board hereby approves said one-year contract at the cost of $29,810 and further authorizes the LaSalle County Board Chairman to execute the same.
We have a motion to approve said resolution. Thank you, Mr. Roach. Second by Ms. Brunel. Any questions or comments? Roll call please.
Mr. Torres?
Aye.
Mr. Stockley?
Aye.
Ms. Corretto?
Aye.
Mr. Walsh?
Aye.
Mr. Traeger?
Aye.
Ms. Zanecki?
Aye.
Mr. Dose?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks? Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Mr. Roach?
Aye.
Mr. Blue?
Aye.
Mr. Walter?
Aye.
Mr. Faber? Ms. McNally?
Aye.
Ms. Pottinger?
Aye.
Mr. Urbanderas?
Aye.
Ms. Owens?
Aye.
Mr. Small?
Aye.
Ms. Brunel?
Aye.
Mr. Ossipinski?
Aye.
Mr. Weezer?
Aye.
Mr. Savage?
Aye.
Mr. Cassidy?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks?
Aye.
Motion carried. tax levy was placed on file for review November 4th, 2021.
We, the LaSalle County Board, LaSalle County, Illinois, finds that the amount appropriated for said period of December 1, 2021 through November 30, 2022 by the LaSalle County Budget and Appropriations Ordinance heretofore made and adopted by the County Board of LaSalle County of Illinois is in the amount of $110,750,794 for the several objects and purposes specified in 2021-2022 Budget and Appropriation Ordinance. Therefore, it will be necessary to raise by taxation the total of $30,611,757.21 for all corporate purposes of LaSalle County, including but not limited to general county purposes, support of the detention home, Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, Social Security Fund, County Highway Maintenance and Upkeep Fund, Special Tax Match, as that which is authorized by 605 ILCS 5/5-603, bridges constructed by the county and township and county line roads, LaSalle County Mental Health 708 Board, as that which is authorized by referendum held under the provisions of 405 ILCS 20/4, LaSalle County Nursing Home, as is authorized by referendum held under the provisions of 55 ILCS 5/5-210001. The Insurance Veterans Assistance Commission and LaSalle County Health Department as provided by 70 ILCS 905/21. We therefore recommend said levy ordinance for approval for the general and specific purposes set forth herein and as set forth in Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein. Now therefore be it ordained by the County of LaSalle, acting by and through the LaSalle County Board, that there is hereby levied upon all taxable property in the County of LaSalle, State of Illinois, a direct tax for the period of December 1, 2021 to November 30, 2022 for the general purposes set forth herein and is more specifically set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein as follows.
Motion to accept the 2021-2022 LaSalle County Annual Tax Levy Ordinance by Mr. Doe, second by Mr. Small. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mr. Traeger,
No.
Ms. Zanecki. Aye. Mr. Dose,
Aye.
Mr. Hicks,
Aye.
Mr. Freeman,
Aye.
Mr. Myers,
Aye.
Mr. Green,
Aye.
Mr. Roach,
Aye.
Mr. Blue,
Aye.
Mr. Walter,
Aye.
Mr. Faber, Ms. McNally,
Aye.
Ms. Pottinger,
Aye.
Mr. Urbanderis,
Aye.
Ms. Owens,
Aye.
Mr. Small,
Aye.
Ms. Brunel,
Aye.
Mr. Ossipinski,
Aye.
Mr. Wietzak,
Aye.
Mr. Savage,
Aye.
Mr. Cassis,
Aye.
Mr. Torres,
Aye.
Mr. Stockley,
Aye.
Ms. Corretto,
Aye.
and Mr. Walsh.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next we have an ordinance, annual budget and appropriation ordinance for the County of LaSalle, Illinois for 2021-2022, placed on file 11/4/21 for review. Motion. Pardon? Yeah. Motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. Hicks.
Okay. All right. Whereas the County Finance Committee of the LaSalle County Board has considered and determined the amounts of money estimated and deemed necessary to meet and defray all legal liabilities and necessary expenses to be incurred in the fiscal year beginning December 1, 2021, and ending November 30, 2022. Now therefore be it ordained by the County of LaSalle, acting by and through the LaSalle County Board, that the 2021-2022 fiscal year begins on December 1, 2021, and ends November 30, 2022. And be it further ordained by the LaSalle County Board that the recommended budget here attached hereto and incorporated herein is hereby adopted and appropriated as the annual budget of the County of LaSalle for the fiscal year beginning December 1, 2021, and ending November 30, 2022. Be it further ordained by the LaSalle County Board that the amounts listed as budgeted amounts for the fiscal year from December 1, 2021 through November 30, 2022 are hereby appropriated for the purposes specified in the recommended budget, or so much thereof as may be authorized by law. Presented and approved by a roll call vote of the County Board of LaSalle County, Illinois, at the November 4, 2021, that was recessed to and taking place on November 22, 2021.
Questions, comments?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Baker.
Are you gonna go over enough stuff here?
Yeah, if I could. Yeah, so, if you guys take a look at the executive summary sheet, as far as, we made some slight modifications, revenue projections. You can see what you originally received from us, and then those changes. So, we think those are pretty representative of everything. As far as, and then also expenses. And then you can see the next page, the preliminary changes. You know, we asked everybody for 2% cuts. And these list out those departments and those line items. Where those 2% cuts come from. So we produced a balanced budget. I'd like to thank the work of the auditor, Stephanie. Good job, Chairman. Good job, and Finance Committee. Good job for stepping in. Even had a couple fill-ins on the 19th. And Deb for that. So, the one thing I forgot to mention on this budget is that we met, I think our goal to the public is that we doubled the parks budget, essentially. And the other thing was, we made a promise to the veterans that we would make sure that they had a clinic and it would be funded. So that budget is in here too. So, and it's all tied in kind of together, but I think the county board did a good job with the veterans and the parks this year, and it's reflected in the budget.
Just as a typo there, it will be approved the 21st, not the November 2021, not November 2022. At the bottom of the resolution there.
Oh, yeah. Bottom line there, where it wants to.
Put it in there then. Sure. Make it correct. So there's no objection to that?
No objections to changing the date on the bottom line there. 22nd day of November 2021 should be instead of 2022. None?
Well, I have another question.
Mr. Prater?
In the levy ordinance, up at the top there, the amount of $110,750,794. Is that supposed to show up in the budget someplace? This figure here. Yeah, just
That's, that 110 million is, so, if you were, we could have added a sheet, probably, like, you know, if we fund, like typically we operate out of what we call the general fund, or is it? I don't know. And then, Doug's talking about, you know, there's also other funds, there's Fund 5 and 6 and 7 and 99 and 67, so all those funds, when you put those all together, equals that 110. And a lot of people too, like when they report stuff, I've seen this report before, it's like the county's overall, you know, tax levy went up 8% or 10%, because they look at last year where we didn't get a grant for a bridge, and we had 100 million, and this year we got the grant for the bridge, and it's 110 million. So it looks like it's a dramatic tax increase, levied amount. In reality, if you took a 5-year average of it, it would actually kind of balance itself out. A lot of those are huge construction projects, is why sometimes our levy will go, this year will be 110, next year might be 106. So those are some like big fluctuations, but is it exactly listed in there? I don't think it is. We took a calculator and put all those funds together, and I think that might be it.
Well, like I said, the last page shows total
Oh,
revenue.
it is the last, it is on it?
Well, no, it shows 190,619,000
Revenue.
revenue.
106,000 expenses.
Right. But the one on the levy is the revenue, right? That's where I was at.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, I don't know. I didn't put those numbers together. So,
Madam Auditor. The auditor?
yes, there's the. What is that? I didn't think it's too.
Yeah, right. Well, while we're waiting for them, Mr. Chairman, can I have a point of information, please? Sure. On the use of WebEx, there's a lot of confusion on using WebEx. And I'd like to get some clarification. Can we, Mr. Berman, can we use WebEx to participate in the meetings?
My board rules is good, certainly. I'm not sure what the exact status of the state law is on that, but certainly the board could make rules where you could attend remotely. There's certain rules about, we're under code how many had to be here personally.
Mhm.
I think the better practice is certainly to be here personally, but there may be times when you can't be here. That a representative form of government, in fact, you can be here remotely, may be better than not being here at all. So I think it can become a political question on how you're best serving your constituents. That's up for each of you to decide. But I don't think there's anything improper with that. I assume that if the board, listening to a voter, said, I don't believe that's our board members, would speak up and be dealt with that way. If there's any.
So right now, though, you think it requires board action to use WebEx again?
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
Coming out of like a rules committee or something?
Where to start, yes, sir.
And then would they be able to, well, would they have to determine then if that person could vote via WebEx
Those could also be included in the rules too.
and count as quorum?
They certainly can count as a, I think they would count as a quorum. They were allowed to be counted as a quorum under the executive order.
Mhm.
Certainly. There's other avenues for committee meetings to have a quorum of people by having, I'll call them auxiliary committee members that can be added by, and that's already in the board rules to do that. Committee chairs can choose that. They have a certain number of extra committee members to be added to the totals quorum needed.
But right now, you don't think we we don't have the processes in place where board members can move for that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's correct. Without looking closer at the, as part of the executive order, whether that's still in place or not. Some of the executive order stuff is still in place, some of it is not. And that particular one, I don't know.
But again, you feel it can be a board decision beyond what the state has put out? There's some confusion.
I think
Until such time as the state changes things, or, I mean, can we continue to do that, or?
it could be permanently. I would say this board can adjust with technology, this board can adjust with times.
Okay.
Becoming more mobile.
Okay, thank you. I stalled as long as I could.
I thought you got a good point, I don't
Mr.
understand. I'm sorry, I didn't see the last page. Doug's right, it's a $1 million difference, what?
Yeah, I'm not sure, found 110 million in there before. After on page 32, 95, we're looking at 119,015, or 116. Might be an error on my part. Dick?
Mr. Chairman, if we are satisfied that the budget is complete and that the number comes at 109,619,126, then I believe we need to change that $110 million number to that 109 so it's done correctly. Otherwise, we're saying that we have a higher budget than what we have, and that wouldn't cause a problem with the levy, because the levy numbers are in there accordingly, but it would certainly be nice to have things clean. So, did we just not take a vote on it, or having questions on it, is that what I'm trying to remember?
What's that?
Not on the budget yet.
Not in the budget yet. So we need to make a budget amendment, or a correction on that levy, because we already voted on the levy.
Yes, we did.
And we voted on it based on this number here, so we're going to have to go back and change that vote. Mr. State's Attorney, Patrick Leroy.
I'm still not sure where the correction is.
Okay, so may I step up and show you what I'm looking at?
If I second page again. See,
The last.
The very last page in the budget, 95 and 95.
95.
Yeah, the budget itself. And you'll see the grand total revenue, all the way to the far right, first line. There's only like 3 lines in there. Is that 109,619? That number should equal what was on our levy ordinance, because that's our actual budget. Even though we are showing that we have a lesser expenses, but we have a grand total difference, we're still budgeting at 109.
Your levy is really for the taxation purposes, which isn't the 109 number.
Yes.
But they should line up. So I think if you pass the budget the way it is, you would only be taking in 109 revenue.
Right.
If you get 110 revenue, you should change that.
So we move to reconsider the vote on the levy, and then vote again on the levy with that amendment. Would that be proper?
You can do either one, yes, sir. They should have.
Are we assuming which one's correct? Or do we know which one's correct?
Well,
Take some of your money.
all the information should be in the system for the complete departments of their total budgets. So this should be correct. I'm assuming that. Yeah, I mean, we've done the budget hearings, and those numbers were dumped in. And I believe we have confirmed all those. Have we not confirmed all those?
The budget numbers?
Yeah. Did anything look out of whack? Because I know we went down the line on all kinds of stuff.
The only thing I can think of is that the 480,000, I was like, did we miss something when it comes to the last cuts? those 2% cuts and then the last revenue that we added, those budget adjustments, were those figured into this budget?
Yeah, 318,000. As of Friday last week.
318,000 off?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because I've got like, still I've got like $161,000 difference.
I think I probably should advise the board too, you can amend your budget by 2/3 vote. You can increase it by 2/3 vote sometime during the year if need be. You can't change your levy.
Right.
Except the
Then we just leave it.
possibly by pay.
I'm hesitant to vote to make a change on it until we know exactly what the numbers are. So my preference would be to leave the levy the way it is, with that 110 million in there, and move forward with voting on the budget with 109 in there, and if we can change this budget with a 2/3 vote, then, and we find that there's an issue, then we do that. That might be cleaner, because if we pull it out, is there a potential we're gonna lose an opportunity to have an expenditure that we can't account for in there, and spending something that we don't have in there?
Yeah, 110, that's income, right?
Doug, what's
That's
your thought?
total income, the 110 million.
it's total revenue.
Yeah, it's total revenue. So I mean, that doesn't matter.
All the rest of it's the levy.
All the rest of it is what
Mhm.
we are taxed, well, yeah,
But
property
you
tax.
can't just put any figure in there though. It should match
It should match
the
that.
total revenue on the budget. Which is
And if it comes in more, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it should match the projected revenues on the budget.
Right now, you have a positive budget. Budget is less than your
Right.
That's it.
Well, I mean, when you're running the budget numbers, is the auditor here?
Yes, I'm here.
When you run the budget numbers, don't they automatically add up to what the last page is, Stephanie?
Yeah, they should.
So you have to assume that's right, don't you? The 109,619,000.
Yes, I would assume that is correct.
Because that's done automatically, correct?
Correct.
So why did we get 110 million then?
I think that's right.
Because it wasn't all the adjustments.
Changes, I'm not sure.
No, I put the adjustments together, it's still, we can still be off. I thought that's why I was doing all that.
I think
We should match it.
move to reconsider the vote on the levy.
We tax. Roll call on that.
Discussion.
Wait a second, you got a motion on the floor, right? So,
And
you're talking about amending something that's not on the floor right now, straight.
Is that on the budget on the floor?
The budget is, but you're talking about amending the levy. That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, that, you can't do that while this one's pending.
Then I move to table this one.
can't table, it has to be voted on, your budget has to be voted on this month.
We can table it and then take it off the table today.
Sure.
Oh,
Table doesn't have to have a specific time. You can't put a specific time on it. You want to table it for 10 minutes, table it for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
So my concern is, was everything put into the budget? So where did that 110 come from? And was there at some point in time 110 and we made all these adjustments and we're supposed to be down to where the number is at the bottom of the, or was there something that was missed that, we could be short $1 million in potential expenses, and if we don't have it, what do we do? Overspend and have a slap on the wrist from the auditor at the end of the year, outside auditor? I don't know.
I think if we got 10 minutes, because we recess and we run the numbers again, there's some sort of.
Everybody working, I mean, we have to go through every individual department. I mean, are you talking about running the numbers in the budget itself?
Yeah, but I mean,
But what would you have, I guess my question is, what are you gonna do the checks and balances with? We have the budget here. What do we have for our work paper to be able to do that quickly? I can't see that happening.
No.
That's an undertaking. And maybe you disagree, I'm just, you see what I'm saying? It's not like we're saying, oh, you know, in the special tax match, there will be a difference. We go and say, oh, there's a difference. Well, we gotta go through every department of the general fund and all the other ones too, if there is something. So, and I do know that the assistant state's attorney mentioned that we can do a budget amendment later in the year if we want, once we have an opportunity to, as a finance committee, to look at those numbers to see if there's something that should be, and, you know, maybe right, I just don't want to take a chance.
I prefer to.
Should this go back to committee?
No.
We don't have.
We have to vote on in December, before December 1st, this budget has to be voted on. We got till the last Tuesday in December to vote on the levy, so we got time on the levy, but we decided to do it anyway.
So the levy numbers themselves
The
are,
levies are right.
the levies are right.
Right.
It's just the grand total that we popped in, which is
On the two,
in
right.
some degree is an arbitrary number based off of a budget.
Right, and the thing is, which is a truer number? I don't know.
But we don't know where that 10 million or 110 million number came from.
Right, that's the question.
Can we take like 10 minutes and find out?
If you can find it in 10 minutes though, Brian.
Yeah, but you gotta go through all the income from the highway, extra
Well, you know,
income from the highway.
the worksheets that we've had for each and every meeting, which I listed there, and with all the adjustments, we didn't know how to get a complete read through out of everything. I'm not sure how you're gonna do with that.
Move to recess the meeting till 10 to 2, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to recess by Mr. Traeger, second by Ms. Bernal. Till, and who did you say?
10 to 2, 1:50.
Till 1:50. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Everybody
Then we vote on it. I mean, the budget is always, you gotta.
You and I are in agreement.
Did you win? We lost. Did you win the death draw?
You work, right? Get out of Gotta keep on
We don't wanna take money out of the levy and then find out later, we're short. I think that's a big mistake. I think we need to do the levy. Well, we got it backwards anyway, we're supposed to vote on the budget. But then we always do this. How are you? How are you doing? I still say it was, I'm not saying that homicide ruled out. They found stuff here, they found stuff there.
McKinley Road is already cleaned up.
The problem is, it's an assumed
No, but I was right there after.
families have really difficult now. It's easier to deal with reality.
The other one, the
I
other
feel
part.
bad for them. Provided by this No, we may take our money from exactly those reasons. The accomplishments, the outliers, it's terrible.
You know,
All the time.
my husband built a greenhouse 25 years ago, and in the front, we put lots, 20 by 70, dug out the dirt.
I'm spending more time in college.
And then, so you pull them out, and last spring, after everything settled down, we started to put it back in. One of us would get to the other one, that person get up. We tried to get
Well, this is really scary. This is the University of Texas years ago. The recently opened downtown Charles Whitman signed up. It's very snap.
So on Valentine's Day, my son was so he was in the hall, he walked across the street because they're doing his service. The other one was she was
I had a close call, sort of like that, but not but it's close to home. My wife and I were going to go to Washington, D.C. one day, which was what we wanted. It was raining out and crappy. We pulled the plug. Things were going to all hospital ended up being a dead guy over the fire. So my wife and I are sitting, went to lunch, went to the table, sitting at the bar watching the news. We spat it out and we saw it happen. It could have been us. I'll tell you what, Carol and I have talked about having people over and something. We're just shying people away from Chicago. And I hate to be all political, but I would have a serious Spent 2 weeks in Europe in September, in Ireland, in London, and friends of mine, I lived there. They dropped us at the airport, they picked us up, and not only did they save us a fortune in parking fees, I think they protected us. I think we not wanted to insure far off from either of the airports.
Last year we had like, it was close, it was in the. And he was gonna pull out my gas.
Probably don't. John, how are you? Scared to travel.
When we were.
Just the goal.
And all this money for water, so all this stuff stopped. Dave was coming from the airport.
There was nobody on the lane, or we were out, you know, you
What are the chances they're going to find us, you know?
forgot to give him $100. I returned it. They don't know where to take it. He said the rule was money. Yeah, you better bring it back.
That's almost like. Did you go to Christmas?
No, Rob,
When we came back, we did.
hello.
And that was kind of like, yeah.
I agree. I happened to be at the YMCA the night they found the car. I was really getting there. Cops, they said, usually 95% of the time, they have a theory or a rough idea. This is a genuine stump right out of the shit. That's the part they couldn't figure out. How to do that, victim or person. You know what I mean? It's not like it's oh, it's one of the strangest ever, which is saying something. We've had our share of this stuff. Like I said, it was overseas. There's days where I wish I had stayed there. Irish show before I let you go. O'Leary finds out he needs heart surgery. Hasn't made a confession in 30 years. He calls up, finds out about Halloran is going to be hearing confessions. Goes into 355, sees the girl, close up behind him. There's a wet bar with premium scotches and a box of Godiva trumpets. Sort of likes himself to smoke with his own two fingers. Hand opens up. This is Father Halloran. Who's in there? Oh, Father, my name's O'Leary and I haven't been here in 30 years. Tell me, when did the church go to hospital? If I'd known there was cigars and whiskey waiting for me, I'd have repented of my sins every week. God, what a need. Just said me, you're on my side. Get out.
Oh, wait, that's sorry.
Well, we understand. A bunch of.
I always saw. No, my.
Are you released from the master? Still doing therapy?
You know, and now I see.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
I was at. Being that far involved, not going.
Try whether it's just one. Okay. It'll wake you up if you're tired. No way. Well, and my nephew, you gotta when you
I will admit.
My grandson.
So I'm just trying
He's quiet. Anytime there's a negotiation with the teachers, right, so they kind of know. Of course, it helps. He's eating better than I am. You can never really. He's getting steak.
The rain truck is so old, it doesn't have signals. So the grandkids are going by, no, can't. I probably could,
Are we back there?
but. I don't know.
Gal over there.
Voted no on this.
They just all say, oh, I don't know. Well, I didn't know. Over there.
Yeah, that's why I says, vote for the money, if you're stupid to not, I don't love you, because you done said what you did with your money, now you're not gonna fund it. I brought that up at the last meeting. So I'm just in for the short term now.
Lunch.
Okay, did the wizard not hold the sheet back and tell you what to do?
No.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. We reviewed some numbers on the levy ordinance at $110 million. That's a mistake on my part. I took it off of a report that was previous to this one right here. So we will move forward with voting on the budget as it is right here. Correct?
That's a tough one, yeah.
And then reconsider the levy.
Yes. And then we'll go back here and change to the $109 million. Correct that. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll have vote on the budget. Yes. The first by Mr. Rose and the second by Mr. Hicks.
Very good.
Mr. Dose.
Aye.
Mr. Hicks.
Aye.
Mr. Freeman.
Aye.
Mr. Myers.
Aye.
Mr. Green.
Aye.
Mr. Roach. Mr. Blue.
Aye.
Mr. Walter.
Aye.
Mr. Faber. Ms. McNally.
Aye.
Ms. Pottinger.
Nay.
Mr. Urbandaris.
Aye.
Ms. Owens.
Aye.
Mr. Small.
Aye.
Ms. Burnell.
Aye.
Mr. Ossipinski.
Aye.
Mr. Wietzek.
Aye.
Mr. Savage.
Aye.
Mr. Cassett.
Aye.
Mr. Torres.
Aye.
Mr. Stockley.
Aye.
Ms. Coretto.
Aye.
Mr. Walsh.
Aye.
Mr. Traeger. Ms. Zanecki.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Freeman.
I've been doing this for way too long, 23 years. I believe this is the first time that we voted on the levy first and then the budget. I even made the comment at the previous meeting in this month that if you vote for the budget, you have to vote for the levy because you gotta fund the budget if you voted for it. So I don't know where this got mixed up, but I believe I'm right, and you should vote for the budget first and then vote for the levy to fund it. Like I said, I've done this quite a long time, and this is the first time we voted on the levy first and then the budget. So I think we had it all backwards to begin with. Because my statement was, if you're gonna vote for the budget and you agree with it, you gotta fund it. Then you vote for the levy, and if somebody votes against the levy when they voted for the budget, you're saying, I don't wanna fund what I just said I wanted to fund. That's just my point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Okay, how do we do the motion, Mr. Doak?
I motion to reconsider levy.
Second by Mr. Hicks.
Traeger, you were the one who brought it up, you want to second it?
I voted against it.
Oh,
Second by Mr. Hicks. What we'll be doing in this situation is correcting the top amount of 110 million to match that 109 million that's on the budget for total revenue. Any questions? Sweet.
That's all we're changing is what it was described.
The levy is not changing.
I can't find my notes.
It's just the total amount of revenue that's up in that top portion.
Very specific on the numbers.
Okay.
But we have some, one more, just going back into reconsider, once we get the motion to reconsider passed, then we can amend the levy ordinance, correct? Is that the way we should do it? We can't reconsider the levy and put numbers in there.
And then you should rather reconsider, well, maybe reconsider the right word.
Yeah.
Vote on that.
Yeah.
I would say rescind, reconsider.
So are we doing just to reconsider first and then we'll change the number with another motion?
We'll do 2 steps, probably.
That, for our phone call.
It should be roll call because we'll vote on roll call.
Ms. McNally? Aye. Ms. Pottinger?
Nay.
Mr. Urbanderis?
Aye.
Ms. Owens?
Aye.
Mr. Small?
Aye.
Ms. Brunel?
Aye.
Mr. Rossapinski?
Aye.
Mr. Weedsek?
Aye.
Mr. Savage?
Aye.
Mr. Cassett?
Aye.
Mr. Torres? Mr. Stockley?
Aye.
Ms. Corretto?
Aye.
Mr. Walsh?
Aye.
Mr. Traeger?
Aye.
Ms. Zanecki?
Aye.
Mr. Dokes?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks?
aye.
Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
Mr. Roach? Mr. Blue?
Aye.
Mr. Walter?
Aye.
Motion carried. Now I need a motion to amend the 2021-2022 LaSalle County Annual Tax Levy Ordinance as concerns the total amount of revenue in the top portion of the first paragraph. Mr. Myers. Second.
I think we should make it very specific.
Okay.
The motion should
The change will be from 110,750,794 to 109,619,125 to match our county budget.
Sorry, 126. 126. That's a bit.
126, I'm sorry.
I got a little blurry again.
619, 126, 109,619,125. $18,126. Get a motion on that? Oh, yeah, Myers, second by Mr. Weedsag. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Small.
Aye.
Ms. Brunel. Aye. Mr. Osopinski.
Aye.
Mr. Weedsag.
Aye.
Mr. Savage.
Aye.
Mr. Caston.
Aye.
Mr. Torres. Mr. Stockley.
Aye.
Ms. Corretto.
Aye.
Mr. Walsh.
Aye.
Mr. Traeger.
Aye.
Ms. Zanecki.
Aye.
Mr. Dose.
Aye.
Mr. Hicks.
Aye.
Mr. Freeman.
Aye.
Mr. Myers.
Aye.
Mr. Green.
Aye.
Mr. Roach.
Aye.
Mr. Blue.
Aye.
Mr. Walter.
Aye.
Ms. McNally.
Aye.
Ms. Pottinger.
Nay.
Mr. Urban.
Aye.
Ms. Owens.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have miscellaneous correspondence report.
Correspondence from Illinois Environmental Protection Agency regarding a permit for solid waste project number 2, Coney Road, Ottawa is being submitted. Correspondence from the South County Treasurer on the investment report dated November 9, 2021 is being submitted. And correspondence from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency regarding public notice of proposed significant modification of a Clean Air Act permit program permit located at Landcon Landfill near Ottawa is being submitted.
May I have a motion to approve miscellaneous correspondence reports? Mr. Weedsag, second by Mr. Traeger. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say something before you adjourn the meeting.
Oh, okay. Motion carried. Mr. Freeman?
Yes, I've been approached by a citizen of LaSalle County that has a serious problem. She has a child that goes out to get on her school bus every day, and people are speeding through the stop arm of the school bus. Semis, cars. She's called the state police. It's on a state highway, and the state police told her, this is a quote from her, that if you're that concerned about your child taking to school every day. Now, I don't think that's the kind of attitude that we need for people speeding through a stop. I'm at a loss of what to do. So I know the press is here today, and something needs to be done. This is a serious situation. We have little kids getting on a bus, and people have total disregard of that stop arm and could kill a little child. Now, we've had our county patrol has spent a little time out there, but it's going to take somebody spending a lot of time. I'm at a loss, Mr. Chairman, on how to help this person. That's why I bring it up here today, because there's a lot of people here. And actually, Gary, I think it's in your district where this is happening. I would like somebody to get somebody's attention to stop this before a child is killed. Them red lights and those arms coming out on a school bus are for a reason. That means to stop your ass and protect that child. So please, with the help of the press, I hope somebody will go out there. It's on Route 251 north of Peru. And it's not right. It's not right that people have that total disregard for a child that they would run through that stop arm.
Just ask a question.
Myers?
In those situations, does that child have to cross the highway to get on the other side?
I'm not sure, but it doesn't really make a
Well-
difference. That arm out means stop.
That makes a big difference. I'm not saying that they should disobey that stop sign. But generally, the bus wants to when they let a child off, they don't have to cross the highway. That's the safest way to do it. And I think, especially out in the country, I would say it's very rare that they would be stopping on the opposite side of the highway so that child would have to go across the highway. But still, they should still be using their stop sign, and obviously, if people are running that, that's a violation.
Perhaps the bus company has video surveillance on their camera, on their bus.
They
And get
don't,
licensed, you know.
they don't, and they would have to put video surveillance in every one of their buses at a cost of $2,000 per bus. They don't have the funds to do that.
No, I
That's already
understand.
been
I just was
approved.
questioning, you know.
Right, no, and that's already been approached. But thank you for your comment, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to do something else later.
Something on a different area. Each and every year for the last, I don't know how many years, and Luann's been involved in it, her husband very strongly, is freezing for a reason, bringing in canned food and things of that nature, put them in boxes, and we would take them down to the Handy Food Shop for collection, because across the street, they have a building there that they utilize to distribute foods, and then they also are welcome money as well. In the last, couple of years with the pandemic, it was going on, there was not a whole lot of giving given on, I think because of the fear of passing things around. And I believe December 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, is the date.
December 3rd.
So, if you're gonna see some boxes put out for those, so if anyone would like to drop some, dry goods or canned foods or things of that nature in, and they will get collected. And so if you'd be interested in doing that, we would certainly appreciate that.
Is there a list that could be
Well,
posted?
I was gonna say, it's a little different this year. They kind of have changed quite a bit. They will still be collecting. I think last year, a lot of the businesses and organizations found how easy it was just to collect the monetary donations as opposed to the cans. So I was kind of told by one of the people that are involved that they are stressing the money because their dollars go quite a bit further when the money is donated, although they'll take anything and everything. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal like they used to have at Handy Foods. All of the kids will be performing at the radio station this year. So before they used to have the stage down there, I don't think they're selling like t-shirts and a lot of the items that they used to do. I think it's gonna be scaled down a little bit, but I know a lot of the organizations have already contacted and said that they would just be doing monetary donations. So you're not gonna have that competition that they used to have between the businesses. We'll still do the competition for the schools, and we'll still provide them with their, the winning schools with their lunches and things like that. But a lot of the activities will be taking place down at the radio station. You can also drive past there and donate checks or whatever you want to. There you go. So it's on the 3rd. I think it starts probably at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes throughout the day.
Getaway car.
Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting to December 13th, 2021. And again, by Mr. Meyer, second by Mr. Savage. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Carried.
Yeah, our discussion